might feel rejected. You might feel frustrated. You might feel sad. There's so many things that you might feel from one situation, right? And that may have caused you to have a belief that, um, I have to be a certain way so that people will accept me, right? And so we go back to find where that situation first started, and we then feel those emotions, then we feel it at its maximum, which is a bit scary for some people because it's scary to feel rejected, in totality, right? Right? Like as if you're a an outcast or something, And but then if we feel it and we breathe through it and we go through it, we sit with it with someone who is kind and compassionate or gentle and goes through it, and then you sort of release that part, and then you might have actually a clearer perspective.
Healing is a matter of time, but it is sometimes also a matter of opportunity, said hypocrites. Healing physical pain starts with being present with it. Somatic bodywork teaches us to welcome all sensations with compassion. Welcome back to another enriching episode of the Daily Life Hero. I'm your host, Rachna, and today we have truly special guest joining us. She is a holistic helper, a remarkable professional dedicated to guiding individuals towards holistic well-being and balance. She has transformed countless lives by integrating mind, body, and spirit with a unique approach that emphasizes the interconnectedness of a physical, emotional, and mental health. They're here to share valuable insights that can help us lead more holistic and fulfilling lives. I'm thrilled to introduce her to our podcast, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy so much what we are going to talk. She's very calm, she's very warm, she's very loving. She has an inspiring journey. She gives practical wisdom, and she's a beacon of hope and transformation for many. Today, we are going to deep dive into their experiences and learn how we can adopt some more balanced and harmonious way of living. Let's put our hands together and welcome Tracy Yap. Woohoo! Welcome,
Hi,
Tracy.
thank you so much for your beautiful introduction and for the lovely words. And back at you too, Rachna, for all the wonderful work that you are doing for everyone. I hope the community will listen and tune in to your podcast more so that we can all learn and grow and be better human beings.
I'm very excited for our conversation today, Tracy. I know I have only met you once and interacted you a couple of times on social media. I just feel very settled, very calm. And sometimes when you talk in a way which is so calming, my energy also comes down. I don't have to rush. And I say, I can be present. So
Yes.
So thank you for that. And I'm very excited. I'm sure our listeners are going to get a lot of benefit what you're going to share with us today about somatic body work, transformational therapies, trauma sensitive work that you do in your field, and how do you create that safe space. So let's start if you're ready.
Absolutely.
Let's do this. I am very curious. What inspired you to pursue this career, which is hard, isn't it?
Yes, honor. I don't know if it's an honor, but I feel that it is something that I have gravitated towards because I was in mainstream work, doing different types of jobs, and it didn't fulfill me as much as doing this kind of work to give back to our community and to help myself also to heal from my own trauma from childhood. So that is sort of how it all began. And for many years growing up and in my adulthood, I did not realize how much this is so important to my own growth and for everyone else to embrace if they can or are willing to look at the things that affect them in their life and how they are prevented from reaching their potential or actually wanting to heal from their own stuff, but also to reach their highest good.
I remember you're so gentle and you're so kind that it is in your truest nature that you want to help people. And the way you do it, it is like motherly. It's the affection that you demonstrate when you are doing the work. You worked on me, and I was absolutely in pain. But when you worked on me, and I knew what I was going through, and you were very gentle, and you did tell me what you can expect, and that was absolutely awesome. But if I were to ask you, what inspired you? Was it your story? Did you see someone else that you wanted to pursue this career of becoming a holistic?
I would say yes, it started with me because I needed to release things that I had kept suppressed for so long and not feeling fully myself, always living in a limbo state, not being in my body because from young it felt unsafe. And this might be the experience people have when they have grown up in an environment where their caregivers weren't kind to them or it was unstable. They didn't know when the next meal was coming or what was happening tomorrow, and they didn't feel that anyone could give them the love and compassion they were seeking as a kid. So then you then not ever have the feeling of safety in yourself. So I lived a lot of my life feeling there was something wrong, something missing, there was no safety that I could give to myself. So that kind of led me in a roundabout way to somatic therapy, where you feel the feelings and experience some pain if I press on certain acupressure points or work on certain areas of your body, because we store pain in our bodies when we cannot process it, we cannot express it, we cannot. Let's say if you're told when you're young, okay, look, Rachna, you're not allowed to express your grief or sadness because it's shameful or something. Then you'll go like, oh, you know, what am I going to do with this pain? Like, I cannot tell anyone. Then you sort of keep it inside. Then you internalize it, and we then develop conditions in our body where we have discomfort and disease. So we have to press it and feel it. Oh, so that feeling or that emotion is creating this in my body. Sit with it or feel it as much as you can and have someone who you trust and is able to coach you, if possible, to go through it with you gently and to be there with you while you're going through it and to know that, yes, you are supported and this life and this universe is supporting you so that we actually come out on the other side and feel whole and feel like, okay, I can embrace this feeling, this emotion, even though it's painful. It's part of my life. It's part of me, and it's not to be rejected. You know, because we think negative emotions are to be rejected, but they're not. We have to have a whole picture. It's not just all good and nothing bad. We have everything. You know, it's like yin yang, and we have to accept the darkness with the light.
Yeah, of course. Well, so what drawn you to this kind of healing? Because this modality is is what I see, that there is a lot of hard work as a healer on a person who is getting healed. What was it that you were really excited about this kind of modality and you wanted to learn and you are doing it so well now? So what was that? What was that one thing that clicked? Oh, yes, I want to give this to people because I know this is good. What was that?
All right. Well, my journey began first with body work. You grew up with the medical side of things
Mm,
where they try and treat the disease with
yeah.
giving and suppressing and cutting and everything,
Mm,
and not actually addressing the core issue of the condition that you had developed.
mm,
Conditions sometimes develop over time because you've built up this way of thinking or being and suppressing, so that then you get a disease or a sickness or something. I started off looking at body work, which is more like massage, because that really helped me relax. And
mm,
then the breathing with the body work, where you actually breathe into the pain so that you can release the pain over time as the person is working on you. So, like breathing, you often hold our breath and go like, oh, it's scary. So we are holding our breath and keeping it inside.
mm,
Whereas we need to actually breathe. So breath work and body work and yoga and all is very good for us to process things, I
mm,
feel. So
mm.
from the body work, I then did learn Reiki, and it was in a funny way how I came to this place.
Yeah.
It's never straightforward. And then I like to look at the whole picture in a holistic way, which is why,
Mm.
I've coined my work holistic helper, because you can't cut off one part and say, this is my hand and it's hurting, but the hand may be related to your whole body, and there are thoughts or feelings that are related to your hand. You can't just say, oh, it's my hand, that's the problem. Try and fix the hand without fixing the rest of it.
Tracy, you have touched upon something very important over here, which most people don't understand in today's world. I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, or psychologist, but I'm a life coach. I've understood that if you sit with whatever emotion and discomfort you have in your body, it does go away. This era's medicines is trying to suppress what is and not trying to heal it, because any medication which is there, because body is great, body heals itself. It is the pain we are trying to suppress, because pain is there in the body. It is just that we are blocking that pain so that our brain doesn't understand that there is a pain, but the pain is still there in your body unless and until you sit with it. And when we say sit with it, it does not mean that we're just sitting and crying, but when we say sit with it, we are trying to say that feel completely what you're going through, because we have not been taught this. Like you mentioned in the beginning of our conversation, when you were growing up, don't feel this because it is shameful. Why you're crying, you shouldn't be crying. Be strong, buckle up. All these things, when we were growing up, these are the things I was told. You're a girl, don't laugh. You're a girl, you should only smile. You cannot do things. Don't ask questions. You ask too many questions. So that curiosity, that courage was discouraged instead of encouraging something. So I did not know any other way what to do. And when you were telling me that you yourself were going through so much in your body and you didn't understand and you wanted to look at the holistic side, you started in a zigzag way, started with the body work, started with the yoga and other things. That is very inspiring because most people don't understand this. Most people, they, oh my God, I need to pop in a medication and I'll be fine. The pain is not going. It's just that we are just blocking that. It does not indicate it to your brain that you have a pain, but the pain is still there. If you will touch that
Mhm.
part of your body, it'll still pain. So how true is that? So how is your holistic healing helps people to release the pain, or to release not pain as much, but the emotions? Because when you are able to regulate those emotions, pain just disappears. It's
Mhm.
not there because it was just seeking your attention. So how does your work integrate in this kind of work?
Okay. I do two different things. One of my modalities is directly dealing with the body.
Mm,
And some people prefer that because they can't talk about the pain yet.
mm, mm,
And then I do something called root cause therapy, which helps you address this pain at the where it started in the beginning.
mm,
All right, but it's not just simply talking about the thing, but it's actually going to feel it. It's sort of you try and feel where it first started and how it was then. The different emotions related to a situation. Let's say
mm,
you are a kid and someone was nasty to you at school. You have a range of emotions. You might feel rejected. You might feel frustrated. You might feel sad. There's so many things that you might feel from one situation. And that may have caused you to have a belief that, oh, you know, I have to be a certain way so that people will accept me, right? So we go back to find where that situation first started, and we then feel those emotions. We feel it at its maximum, which is a bit scary for some people because it's scary to feel rejected in totality, right? Like as if you're a, an outcast or something. But then if you feel it and breathe through it and go through it, sit with it with someone who is kind and compassionate, and then you sort of release that part, and then you might have a clearer perspective. So
mm,
this is root cause therapy. And when you get a clearer perspective of the situation, you might see a different side to the story where this other person was being taught that way to believe. And so then you have a question for that person and go, right, it's not that he's being a terrible person. It was because they were actually being treated like that. And so they've done that to you. And then you can release and forgive that part and go, okay, I will know from now on maybe to set better boundaries about things. I'm more sure of myself and I know who I am. If someone puts me down like that again, I'm not going to put up with it and I can go, oh well, that's and I can move away from that situation. That's that person's thing. It's nothing to do with you.
yeah, I love that, Tracy, because I myself I'm an inner child worker. I help people connecting with the inner child, and yes, you call it recourse. In layman's language, I help people gain their self leadership or get to know themselves. They deserve to know themselves. What is it that is causing them pain? What are the triggers that travel in their body, and why they feel something which is really not the problem. Sometimes people talk to you in a way that, of course, there is a boundary that you create, and you don't expect people to talk to you rudely, no way. But then it triggers your different emotion, and then you start feeling anxious, you start feeling rejected, you start feeling you're not good enough. But that did not happen in that moment. That happened way back. Sometimes it is so scary to go back and meet that part of you who was rejected years ago, and that still hurts me. I was not even aware. And from there, we create mechanisms that if somebody is going to talk to me, I will just shut down or go away. It is so important to go back and do that, sitting with that emotion and talking in a perspective, like you just mentioned, in the entirety. It was just not one emotion you felt at that point of time. You felt rejected, terrible, alone, unsafe. Creating safety in that moment does so much magic. And I get what when you said that it's not about the other person, is about you. If you feel safe, it'll not matter what other people are doing because you know you got this. And of course, we are not talking about any extreme scenarios that, whatever is happening in the world, we are not talking about those extreme scenarios. But in our day to day life, if you're able to bring that harmony within ourselves, that is truly commendable. So thank you for what you do, because I know it's not easy for someone to believe in themselves that they can heal that part of it which got hurt right in the beginning of their time. I
Yes.
do get it. It is a powerful technique. It is so powerful. You just feel alive when I say that, as if it doesn't matter anymore. That is such a powerful work that you're doing, and I love that. And what is the other way that you do it? One is the recourse. What is the other way that you offer?
Oh, well, through body work, but it's over time, and there's a lot of working on the body whilst they're breathing through it. Sometimes they're going through the thing by themselves if they're not willing to talk about it yet. For example, this work I'm not doing with some people who haven't reached a stage where they're able to meet themselves there yet, because sometimes it's truly terrifying what they've been through. We cannot judge because, for example, I'll just share a little bit. The client I was with today, he went through like abusive childhood, and he was abused at in so many levels. He will not be able to be a good candidate at the moment to do this kind of work. So it has to be very gentle. He was sharing with me that he was taking drugs when he was in his 20s, and took the drugs for years to suppress all the feelings and emotions that would come up for him. When he came clean, he had to look at himself and think about what happened, because the drugs were simply suppressing all the horrible things that happened to him, and he would relive it. So having taken away the aspect where he could use drugs, so he's no longer using drugs. He does smoke, but that's his only drug now. He has to look at it in a gentle way, even though it's scary. He is slowly working on himself every day, and he still gets massive anxiety if someone at the shops gave him a look or said something. If he's not with someone, or if he's not with me, then he would feel like he would want to leave the place and just go home and never go out again. Can you imagine someone who feels so unsafe that they will not go out into society because someone gave them a look or made an unkind remark? It's terrible for people to feel like that.
I get it. I totally get it. I was very little, I remember. And I think I was in class 2 or 3. Very tall girl told me, ghosts exist and the ghost will come and take you. I didn't understand that. I just knew I'm scared and I don't want to go to school because that girl is going to be there and the ghost will come and take me. I did not even know how to express that in words. And that has run my life for so many years, maybe up to last year, or maybe in some phases till now, that part of me felt scared. And, it's not that I'm scared of ghosts or anything. It is the emotion that I could not express, it stayed with me and covered me in so many instances of my life. For example, if I were to go into the shopping mall, I would feel scared and I could never understand what I've been to the shopping mall so many times. What is happening? Why am I
Mm,
feeling scared? What is going on? So it wasn't in the moment. It was something very deep down in my childhood,
mm,
and it has shaped in so many different variations of being scared, which means I will not do something unless I have felt safe in those situations. And sometimes I would be rebel. I'm not stopping here. I would do it anyway. And I was successful. And I totally get it. People don't understand. And you have to feel so safe in your body. But then, as you said, if you're ready to work on that, it is a superpower that you will create for yourself. I do get it. And I appreciate that you do it for people and you give that gentleness, kindness, and time and space to them, because it's a thing that people have to realize that they will get better and there is an answer, which is so beautiful. So thank you for what you do, Tracy. And I was wondering if you could let us know how is it different, your holistic approach? I know it is different, but how is it different from the traditional medicine? There are certain traditional medicine that people will take it and they say it is natural and you can use it. How is it different? I know you and I don't use medicines at all, but how does it work? How is, do you offer traditional medication or do you just do the body work in somatic healing?
Do you mean pharmaceutical medication or herbal medication?
Traditional medicines would be herbal medication or including any kind of things that are not pharmaceutical medication.
I Yes, I'm not an expert on medication, but I understand some people do require it. There is a place for pharmaceutical drugs in this world, and I don't reject anything. We are created for human life. We did things to survive, right? And medication and pharmaceutical drugs were formed from the traditional herbals, which became very concentrated as such, or people extracted certain things from certain plants and animals in order to use it for medication. And I am in awe of science and how far medicine has come to help and save people. However, I feel that suppressing a health condition or doing an operation and then or taking a lot of medication and then still wanting to persist in living a life where you don't make any changes towards how you're living. Let's say you want to eat a lot of high fat fried food and still be healthy. It's like, okay, so you go and have some bypass and clear your clogged arteries, but then you continue to not exercise and not eat vegetables or cleaner foods after being cleared of the fat that's clogging you. It will come back, right?
Yeah.
So I feel it's not sustainable. People need to do a lifestyle change, maybe a lot. It's scary. And you're so used to living this way, like out of your zone, like, oh my gosh, I have to drink green juices or, eat more vegetables every day. It's like, I have the fried chicken and, it's tastier and it makes me feel happy. So then, you're not really doing a service for yourself. It's like a temporary fix.
Yeah.
So I take vitamins myself, and I also take some herbal things. From time to time, I'm not super person. I get sick sometimes, and sometimes I overindulge on certain things. I'm human. I also have allergies, and I know my body is aging. I know that I have to be careful with it and I cannot abuse it too much because this is my machine
Temple.
that I
Yeah.
have my soul inside that takes me everywhere I want to go or see things and do things.
Yeah.
So I have to look after this machine as well. Like your
Yeah.
car, you can't like put junk in it, or you have a petrol car and you put diesel in it, then it's not going to work.
This is a quote I remember. Yeah, holistic healing is about taking care of yourself in all aspects, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So it's not just one thing will work for everything. We are humans and it's a machine and it's a temple that we need to keep it functioning. And if it is not functioning, there is something that you need to pause and you need to pause and take it into a place where it feels, yes, I can breathe. Yes, I can eat this. I like to give my father's example. He's 84. I remember when the summers would come in, he would naturally do fasting. He would not eat, he would only eat once a day, but he would have like fruits, bananas, apples, water, and milk. And then in the evening, he would come and he would have something very cold, which will have lemon in it. And then he would have his dinner by 7:30 or 8, goes for his walks, and then come back and sleep. When he used to come back from his workplace, it was 10 kilometers. And I'm like, wow. And with God's grace, he likes to walk right now. Even if we were to say that you can take a wheelchair and be comfortable, he says, no, I prefer walking. If I'm walking, I'm living. And I'm like, wow, that's a total inspiration. I like to walk personally. I love it. And whenever I get time, I would just walk wherever I am. So I'm a walker myself. But sometimes I feel internally so tired. My internal body would say, walk. But I'm so exhausted, I would stop. But I love what you just said, that it's a holistic approach. It is not one thing that will give you that health. It is a combination of everything, and you will see the change. And if you treat your body the way it is to be treated, be gentle, be kind, feed it the right thing, it'll change. It's a game changer. I remember there is a book called Body Keeps a Score. How are you treating your body? Are you feeling it here? Your body gives you signals. You just need to understand what's going on. I love what you just shared. Yes, we are not doctors, we are not psychiatrists, but we know that there is benefit. And when we do it, we see the changes. We see the changes. And I have seen changes myself. Little things, if I change it, I see a absolute drastic change. Yeah. Again, Tracy and I are humans. We sometimes don't do things the way they are supposed to be done. We do get sick, but we know what is the pathway that we can heal ourselves. So yeah, I love that. I love that. But Tracy, I'm curious because what are some misconceptions, common misconceptions you would come across people telling you about holistic healing? Are there any some misconception that people would say, "Oh, I thought this is it."
Okay. I can't say this for everyone, and probably I don't like to be an extremist in any way.
Hmm.
I kind of try and strive for the middle way. Well, I don't know, it's a very Buddhist approach, but
Yeah.
I don't want to reject things like alcohol, nice uh, chocolate and all that stuff. It has a place in the world. If it wasn't created, why is it here? We should embrace all of it. However, I don't know what moderation is for everyone. So maybe tune into your body and know when you are having too much of something that it's gonna cause you harm. But then why are you then indulging in that thing? What is that thing giving you that you are seeking that you can't find inside yourself to fulfill? Is
Mm.
it because you're eating your feelings or for comfort, or you're seeking pleasure from something, or binge watching too much Netflix? There
Mm.
is a place for Netflix. There is a place for Instagram. There's a place for Facebook. And I'm
Mm.
not saying that all this is bad. Media is terrible because you're bombarded by so much programming, and you got to decide what is really good for you and chuck the rest out and don't listen to all of
Yeah.
it, because
Yeah.
you can become
Yeah.
so influenced by other people. Does it really give you joy? Because everybody else is doing it,
I
Yeah.
love that. I love this example of yours. Oh, this is giving me joy, so it has to be good. It could be a misconception, not necessarily. There is a place and time for everything. And like binge watching, I feel good. I'm feeling absolutely okay with that. Is it a compulsion? Is it really required? Is there something that you could do differently? Yes, I do come across, and that's, I think, pretty common misconception that people will carry. And oh, I thought this works this way. Maybe for some, but as you said, there is always a place and time and space for everything. If it is created, there is a reason for it. But everything has its own time and space and place. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And would you like to share some success story with us that, you were with a client and they came up with something and they're a different person today?
Mm. Uh, yes, I actually have several clients who are looking at their life differently.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with a young lady in her 20s. We did root cause therapy together in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she grew up in a quite a stressful environment and was sort of conditioned by her mother, who was a highly alcoholic mother and drug addict father. It was very unstable,
Mm-hmm.
and her grandmother cared for her in a certain way as well. So she had different uh, influences from different parents. She had massive anxiety and was certain about her direction in life. I want to do that, but actually, it's not me. It's my parent who wants me to do this in this way. And so now she's over several sessions, which we did root cause therapy, and plus she had Reiki twice. From that, she actually felt that she's more sure of where she wants to go and how she wants to live her life. She feels more herself. She's letting go of the friends she had when she was growing up, who were always into party, into drugs, into drinking until they were blind drunk and falling down. So she is breaking away from that, and she's changed her approach now. She's happier in herself. I think growth and healing comes in stages, and we don't become completely healed. And sometimes we heal certain parts and then other areas need to be looked at. So I wouldn't say we will be completely healed maybe by maybe when we die. We reach a different stage, and because I kind of believe in reincarnation, and I believe that our soul will evolve and then we will have other things to learn.
I remember this something about onion, that healing is like that you peel it, there is another layer, then you peel it, there is another layer. But the best part of it is, because I am absolutely a exemplary example of that. When my healing started, my first question to my coach was, will it end? And the beautiful answer was that no, it's not gonna end. But what will happen is that you will start becoming very curious. Oh, what is this now? I wonder what it is. And I would love to go deeper into me and know what is going on, because when you're healing yourself, you're healing your generations. You're
Yeah.
healing your past generation, you're healing your future generation. I'm healing my current generation, which is my daughter. And I see absolutely transformation, not only for me, but for my family also. That we are more curious. Yes, as you said, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, do I really have to feel this? Can I just take a medicine and not think about the feelings at all? Because feelings do take you in that time and event, which was hard to feel. But once you do it, you're done and more confident and ready to go ahead and move forward. And I love what my coach said, that once you start becoming more aware and aware, it becomes easier and easier. Then you're no more scared because you're so safe in your body. You said, you can do it. It's like reading chapters of any book. You want to finish it because now you're curious how it is going to end. So it's just that the book does get over, but there is another book which comes in, and then you start reading chapters.
Yes, yes, that is so true. And
Mm,
I feel that my daughter is like a bigger, better version of me, where she is more outspoken. at her age than I was. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love the fact that we are working towards it because we want to do better. We want to contribute because there's so many people who are not even aware that there is help available, there's support available. You can do it. We don't have to run through our emotions. Once you're done, you're done. And then you're ready for more. And there is so much love that you can give to yourself. Something that happened right at the start of your life does not have to run your life today. It can stop. You just have to give yourself a chance. And I love that. I was curious, how does somatic body work help people other than the root cause therapy that you offer?
Okay, so somatic body work gets into feeling the pain, which is stored in our body. And what I work on is your chakras and your channels where your chi or prana energy flows, where we feel that there is a pain somewhere that is said to be energy being trapped or not moving smoothly. And then what we do is get you to learn to breathe into the pain, feeling the pain in that part. If you can associate it with something or some event that contributed to that pain, if you want to work on it, you could journal, talk to somebody about it, process it, and then let that pain go. Well, over time, it will dissipate.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we will transform and feel better about everything and, see the world, meet the world in a different way.
Right, absolutely. And what are the other ways that you offer healing? So I heard you said Reiki, root cause healing or therapy, and somatic body work. Is there something else you offer to me?
As part of my treatment, sometimes I include guided meditation, which brings a person to a deeper place in themselves. Some people cannot meditate. I need you to meditate at least 10 minutes every day. Sometimes I offer that as part of the treatment,
Yeah.
which brings them to a space which also connects to their body, because sometimes the meditation guides them to a place where I say, okay, think of a spot where you feel your tension is being stored and send love to it or send healing energy to it. Or we could go to where you might feel you have been hurt by somebody. Send love to that event, send love to that person. Yes, they hurt me, but why am I sending love to them? Send love to yourself, but if you send love to it and envelope it in a caring way, you sort of go, can I actually forgive this person, forgive this situation? What can I gain from doing that? Or how can I not then be hurt again by this situation? If a situation like this were to happen to me again, can I then deal with it in a different way? Or can I transform it so it doesn't happen? Can my energy be changed so that I can not attract that kind of situation? So I don't know, if we approach certain things, that if you have a preconception or a thought towards a person, that person is always like this, then you're expecting them to be like this. Then of course you're gonna get that energy. So let's say if I change my energy, is that going to change that interaction with that person?
Of course, yeah, yeah, of course. And I totally believe in that vibration and energy. Sometimes when you are in a group of people, you're very happy and you're dancing, you're grooving, it's absolutely fine. And then there is some person who comes with an energy or a vibration. I was like, oh, something doesn't feel right. Something has changed over here. And they're carrying an energy which is not aligned with you. And then you want to leave that place. And I said, no, I don't belong here. I want to go. Or what is it that you can do to tame that energy? That or you vibrate at a higher level. And so what's going on? And you talk and then you change the energy. I totally get that. Yes, totally get that. Awesome. Is there any advice that you like to give to our listeners about the holistic approach that you have, about the healing in general? What is it that they can do to heal themselves, and how is it that they can find you if they wanted to get in touch with you and get your services?
I see. Advice, I would say I don't like giving people advice because they will come to the space where they think or they feel or they want to engage me as a practitioner or someone to go along life with them. I have had clients who are still with me from 2007 and they love it. They have nothing negative to say. They feel that they benefit from even a regular massage with me. So I don't say one fixed way to do something or heal. Whatever you feel resonates with you, go for it. Try it. And then after you try it, you will get the next idea or next that will tell you, okay, this is not working. I'm going to try this instead. Don't sit there and
Yeah.
expect something to happen. Maybe that might work for you. I don't know. That might work for you, but it's very hard to say what's going to work for everyone. And whoever wants to find me will find me. And I
Yeah.
believe in that. And I'm on Instagram as the Holistic Helper. My is THE_holistic and health_helper, but the helper has a 3 in it instead of a E.
Yeah.
Or I am on Facebook as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. I will definitely put every information on our YouTube as well. I just want to thank you, Tracy, for all your legendary information that you have shared with us. And I'm sure our listeners will gain so much out of it because what you've just shared is so powerful that, something which is a signal in your body, it needs your attention. And there is no one way to carry it out. If you think this is the best way to do it, just do it. Healing it is the best rather than suppressing it because it's not going to go away. It's in your body. It will show up in some shape or manner, in some kind of disease, in some kind of pain, in some kind of ailment. And that's what suppression does. We don't have to suppress it. We just have to evaluate it. When we become present to whatever it is, it does magic. You and I are examples of it. We are right here talking about it. The idea is that we want to empower people so that they believe in themselves, love themselves, and be compassionate and gentle. Thank you so much for taking our time. And I'm
Thank you.
sure our listeners will get a lot of information from you.
Thank you for your time, your beautiful energy, and what you do. You're amazing.
I think we both are amazing. And thank you so much again. And thank you, our listeners, for tuning in. And I'm sure you have found a lot of gold nuggets in this episode. And one last thing to end on, somatic practices bring us back to our senses, teaching us to live more in here now and less in what ifs. Watch this space for more, and we are going to come back with another absolutely delightful episode. Ciao for now, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Have a lovely day. Thank you, Tracy.